Okay, time for my darkness team. An elemental. Is he gonna start with that first? I don't know. I think I'm good just going with this guy first, like, no matter which pet he chooses. Because the Fledgling Warden Owl, he's gonna go first. Like, no matter which pet he uses, and he's gonna be able to get off his Wombo combo. No matter what pet he uses, unless he went into Doombloom first, of course. Alright, I'm gonna go for a couple of Savage Talons to take him out. Oh, he went into the air. This will just straight up murder. Oh, he died to his own Scorched Earth. That's great. Okay, this isn't a good matchup. Now, this is my tech option right here. The reason I'm running this crab is because elementals, like, they wreck Nocturnal Strike. And I'm running this guy because I have Water Jet. I'm of course going to set up Call Darkness first. Actually, I don't need Call Darkness yet. Instead, Headbutt. I'll go for Headbutt for the chance at a stun. Stun Steeds. Ooh. In 2 turns, I think I should be setting up my Call Darkness now. Because I want that just in case I swap into one of these other 2 pets. And it hits harder. Or no, it hits just as hard. Wow, all these abilities hit just as hard. I'm not too keen on what breed I have. Like, this was just the only version of this pet I had, and I didn't want to go out and farm for the good breed. Because I don't really know what that is. I would assume the power breed, because I want this guy to hit. But also, you know, I plan on swapping into him, and HH breed seems like it's the best idea for that. Yeah, he's able to heal up no problem under darkness. Twilight. I should just be able to stay in on this guy, to be honest. Because we have the same speed, and I have hard-hitting moves against him. Like, all of my abilities do 420 damage to him. I just noticed that. It does 420 damage. How hilarious. That's the weed number, folks. And Doombloom isn't a very good elemental. It's decent. Like, if I were to make a tier list, I'd probably put Doombloom at tier 2, I guess. Like, basically any pet that's decent but not tier 1 is tier 2. There's very few bad pets that are tier 3. You know, I was thinking recently, like, if I'm going to update the tier list eventually, I do plan on doing that. I want to make like a tier 1.5. Like, I think that would be the best bet. Let's see. Ooh, I'm faster. I'm gonna go for the Headbutt. You know, fish for a stun. And then, oh no. Oh no. Let's go for Twilight. I can change the weather on him. Oh, no! I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to use that. No! I meant to change the weather, not... Oh, fuck. I screwed myself. It's because Call Darkness is usually at the 2 slot. You can't blame me for that. Okay, I can swap out or just sit still. He doesn't hit me very hard. Like, I have a good matchup. Ooh, he missed, too. Okay, looks like it didn't matter. Good thing darkness teams are still very good. Like, even after the nerfs. The nerfs they did was they basically nerfed the attack power of some of the common darkness pets. But not all of them. Like, the Fledgling Warden Owl, he's still, you know, he's still doing strong. They also didn't nerf any of the Jungle Beaks. They basically just nerfed some of the crows and Bone Serpent, but then again, Bone Serpent needed to be nerfed. He was tier 0. Like, in the tier list, you know, tier 0 are pets that are so ridiculously strong that they're kind of overpowered. And as far as I know, I think only the Twilight Clutch Sister qualifies for tier 0. It's the same team again. Huh. This time I'll start off with Twilight, since he's still faster than everyone. Doombloom. I can go for Twilight Fire and then just swap into my crab. The crab did really good against him. I think this stays on him, so I can swap out, and I don't have to worry about my... No, I think it stays on him, but it affects my frontline pet. So I'll go for Headbutt to fish for a stun, even if it does the same damage. Ooh. There we go. And yeah, he gets stunned. That's fine. I'm going to swap out. I can just go into Twilight. I don't really need the Wombo combo. Especially since he might just set up Immolation and swap out. So I'm going to Twilight Fire him, you know, just to like weave my abilities. Okay, here we go. I'm going to set up Call Darkness during the turn that I can't hit him. That way I can Surge of Light him. Actually, no, I'm just going to go for Twilight Fire to kill him. Because he has Immolation, if I remember correctly. So if he swaps out, he's dead. He's going to die anyway, and then Doom Bloom comes out. He's not affected by the chance to stun is increased. No, wait. This works, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It'll stun him because it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the pet. It's only like I need darkness to be out for this to be 100%. See, the reason these kinds of pets really screw with Nocturnal Strike is because Nocturnal Strike only always hits if the target is blinded, and undeads, elementals, they ignore that shit. Because their racial, which is usually useless, is actually useful against darkness teams. Because it means Nocturnal Strike doesn't have a 100% hit chance, it only has a 40% hit chance, which is terrible. Because 40% in pet battle terms is like, you know, you're basically never gonna hit. But Surge of Light only checks to see if the weather is darkness. You know, just in general, it doesn't check to see if the opponent's pet is blinded, which is the distinction here. Because if it checks that the target is blinded and they're unaffected by negative weather effects, then whatchamacallit? I don't know what I was saying. Surge of Light works. I didn't know that. I do know that now. This team is too good. Okay. And because elemental pets usually gave me a problem with darkness teams, I threw in this crab. It's the only crab, it's the only darkness pet which also has an aquatic ability. I thought that'd be a really good counter to elementals, and it seems to be doing good so far. I kind of wanted to go out and farm a better breed though, but I think the HH breed's working pretty good. Like, he's hitting hard enough, and like, because I built this pet, like I want this pet to be swapped into. And usually pets where you're swapping into, you know, like a hard swap, you want them to be tanky. And having an HH breed does make them kind of tanky, like either tanky or they're able to heal up for a lot. That's why the Emperor Crab is a good pet to swap into, because he can heal. And he's very tanky, despite not having very much health. You know, his health is decent. It's still above 1400. But his shell armor and healing wave with his high attack power value make him a very tanky pet. So you can swap into him and expect him to live for a long time. This pet doesn't really have any of that kind of protection, just a lot of health, which I think is, you know, good enough, because he has like 2 hard-hitting abilities as well. Which makes me think, you know, a power breed would still probably be better in this scenario, or at least a health power breed. I think this is the same guy. He just swapped out a couple of abilities. It could be something different. I don't know. Abyssus, lots of people use Abyssus for some reason. Another elemental pet though. That's scary. I guess I'll just go with Twilight. Twilight's a really good starter, I found. Okay, Abyssus. I'm just gonna go for Twilight Fire right off the bat, just in case he decides to Immolation and swap. Nope, he went straight into Meteor. Okay. I'll use this turn to apply Call Darkness. And I'll just use Surge of Light here to stop him for the turn, apply Twilight Fire, and then swap out. Nice. Okay, and it's an elemental pet, so time to go into the crab. My Darkness Crab. Let's see, it has basically every breed available. I love it when that happens. Okay, I'm gonna go for Headbutt first to fish for a stun. No stun, but that did hit very hard. Oh my god, he's hitting so hard, and I missed! No way! Holy hell, was that 2 triple hits in a row? With, oh look, Twilight is 1 point faster. Twilight is 1 speed faster than the Cinder Kitten. And he swaps. Oh boy, this is fine. I can just weave in Twilight Fire. Twilight Fire is a really good dot. And Surge of Light. No, I'm gonna weave. I'm gonna keep weaving. Oh. I was weaving under the assumption that I was faster. That may have been an error on my part. Oh, he went for a heal. He's not an elemental, so that wasn't a good idea. You know, I probably should just save Twilight Fire. Now that I think about it, I just use it right without thinking. That wasn't a good idea. Because he's gonna die anyway. So I could have just saved it. Oh, he swapped. Oh my god, that was dumb. Holy shit. Oh, that helped me so much. Oh, thank god. Thank god he saw. Oh my god. He went for a Twilight Meteor. That was so dumb. Like, if I was trying to lose on purpose right here, that's exactly what I would do too. I would have swapped and then went for a Twilight Meteor. This is great. I mean, I guess that makes up for how ridiculously lucky he got with all those Wrens. He got 2 triple hits in a row, and on the second one he crit on like 2 of them. Like, what the hell kind of luck is that? Okay, that's 3 matches, right? Yeah, 3 matches, 3 wins, all against, I think, the same guy. It wasn't really a good matchup. Like, none of those pets were very good. But I did get to show off, you know, the Shadowback Crawler against an Elemental, which is why I included him. So, you know, final thoughts. Twilight, good. Like, surprisingly good. Back in Legion, when it first came out, I didn't really consider it tier 1 because there were so many darkness pets in the game already that it's, you know, relatively lackluster attack. Really didn't make it stand out very much. And once they nerfed all the other pets, I mean, you can still just run 3 Fledgling Warden Owls instead. Like, you don't need to run other pets. Let's see, what else is there that can both set up Darkness and use Nocturnal Strike that's strong? I think it's just the Owls. And specifically, the Fledgling Warden Owl. Only this one, because they nerfed all the other ones. Yeah, oh my god, they super nerfed all of the crows. Oh my god, that is pathetic damage. I think they just kind of forgot that this pet existed, because they specifically wanted to nerf Call Darkness and Nocturnal Strike. And, you know, this was already one of the strongest pets that could do that, and you can run 3 of them. It is, I think it's kind of difficult to get, though. No, it's not, actually. It's real easy. Just Warden's Revered. Okay, what is this pet? His stats are bad. Dreadling. Yeah, the Dread Hatchling used to be the strongest Call Darkness Nocturnal Strike user, and they nerfed him when they nerfed all the Call Darkness. When they nerfed the crows, they also nerfed this guy as well. Which is great, because I always thought about getting one of these, like buying the WoD Collector's Edition just to get the Dread Hatchling. I never did, though, because I was like, he's only a little bit better than crows. Like, I don't really care that much. So I'm glad they nerfed him. So now it's like, ugh, I'm glad I didn't do that, because the Warden Owl's better anyway. So yeah, they nerfed the Darkness users, and they left the Jungle Beats alone, except this guy. He's still just as good. But since they nerfed all those other ones, like Twilight shot up in usefulness because of that. And it's more like it was always useful, it just got overshadowed by other pets that were easier to use. But really, Twilight Fire is really good. It's also like part of the reason Twilight Clutch Sisters is good. Part of the reason. Because it's a really good dot. Even with a 1-turn cooldown on it. Because it does, you know, like 75% damage. And it has a dot, which is stronger than normal dots. I think it's like 25% stronger than normal dots. So overall, it does more damage than a basic attack when you apply it. No, I think it does exactly the damage of a basic attack when you apply it. Now that I'm looking at its numbers. Yeah. Whereas other dots didn't really do that, but you know, you put a dot on them and then it applies for 2 turns, which means 3 turns in dot terms, because dots don't count the turn you apply them. So it's 3 turns, it's 300 damage over it. Yeah, if you just use this, that's, you know, a basic attack and 2/3. That's really good. Power of the Horde, is that what's playing right now? Okay, well, you know, I'm done with this. Oh, also this guy right here. I was looking at Call Darkness users, and I found this guy, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect, because usually one of the biggest counters to Darkness teams back in the day was just a single elemental pet. Because you could just swap into them, and then Nocturnal Strike would miss. And Nocturnal Strike is a huge reason why these pets were so good. That's not really too much of a problem with Twilight, because Surge of Light doesn't really worry about that. It'll still stun them. And as long as you go first, because most elemental pets that people use regularly are slow. And 293 is fast enough to outspeed everything except fast pets. Now this thing right here. What's its fastest breed? Its SS breed, wow, that's decently fast. 325 on a crab? Huh. I guess he doesn't really have crab stats, he just has normal stats. Because the power breed is like standard power. 1400 health, 325 attack, 260 speed. Yeah, usually crabs have like overinflated health values at the cost of speed. This one doesn't though. Well, he performed well. I like him. I might try him on more Darkness teams.